A State of Mind with Coach E.
What's up with it, world? It's your favorite coach, Coach E, and I got my co-host with me, my guy Trey Dawson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And man, today we got one of my favorite people in the basketball world, well, just in the world period. But my guy right here, man, I didn't watch him build and build and build, and it's good to see my guy getting the flowers he deserved. But man, let me introduce one of my favorite people, man, Coach Josh Hayes. What's up with it, baby?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all? What up? Glad to be here, baby.
Yes, sir, man. We trying to branch out to some blacks, minorities. Some of my favorite people who's out here doing positive things in the community. Because a lot of times you see a lot of the wrong people getting a lot of the mighty praise around here, man. So we try to make sure we spotlight and give the proper flowers to the proper people. Man, tell us a little something about yourself, man. Where you from? How you get started? I mean, talk to me.
I'm Little Rock born and raised, from Tall Timber, off of John Barrel. Man, I'm an 80s baby. And, born and raised in Little Rock. I went to Henderson Junior High, which had a rich tradition of basketball. We won 2 city championships in a row my 8th and 9th grade year. Played at Parkview. We won state my junior year. So I was able to go to 2 rich, traditionally basketball schools. So, I mean, honestly, I say that because basketball has been my life. It's more to me than that, and I want to tell y'all a little bit more about it, but basketball has been my life. And I'm just thankful for this game because it's the reason why I am where I am and working the jobs I've worked.
So, I heard you mention John Barrow. John Barrow. We just said rich history of basketball, but we all know John Barrow also has a rich history of gangs, violence, drugs, just typical, your urban area things.
Absolutely.
How were you able to navigate, whether you joined or you didn't join, regardless of you here today, how were you able to navigate through these certain things? And also tell me, some situations, that basketball saved you, tell us what that looked like.
Give him the real.
I got you. That's crazy. That's a great question. So I went to Henderson Junior High. I graduated in 1999, and so I got to Henderson, I believe, 92, 93. The summer before I got there, a kid got murdered on the basketball course after school. This is 2 years after, maybe a year after Banging in Little Rock dropped, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm green. My mom, school teacher, she teaches at Otter Creek Elementary. I'm
Gotcha.
green as they come. All right? So Otter Creek, if you know anything about Otter Creek, is predominantly Caucasian.
Yeah.
Probably about 85% back in the 90% when I was there.
We call that the good area.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I go to Henderson Junior High, and it's a magnet school. So my mom wanted me to go there, right? Hey, man, I was nervous as hell. Man, somebody got killed. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was Henderson or Southwest, which was Hamilton, which ain't even open no more.
Yeah.
So that's how old I am, Southwest High School.
I ain't
Shout
never
out to
heard of
Southwest
Hamilton.
High.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
never
so-
heard of Hamilton.
And see, it was Southwest before that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Right. So Hamilton was the alternative school a few years ago. So
All right,
anyway,
all right.
with that being said, man, when I was at Henderson and Dunbar was the worst junior highs you could go to. Now, I said junior high. It wasn't no middle school when I was in there.
Yeah,
it was
facts.
junior
Yeah.
high, 7th through 9th. Man, it was so crazy. I'm green.
Yeah.
So Henderson is predominantly Bloods, right?
Yeah, blood, yeah.
I don't really remember no folks being there. And the Crips that was there was about 25 of them. They all hung tight.
Yeah.
They stayed jumping the Crips. But the Crips stood tall, but they was just outnumbered.
Yeah.
All right, so I remember my daddy bought me a blue and black lumberjack, right?
Yeah. You was number 26 by association. Yeah,
Pops, I can't
Yeah.
wear that.
Yeah.
Man, Pops, I can't wear that. Why I spent this money? Man, I wore that junk after Chris. I got it for Christmas. Wore that junk the first day after school. After Christmas' first day to school. Walking into the building, true story.
Yeah.
The Bloods behind me. Say blood? Say blood? Why you got on all that flu? Oh, they tripping. So, I act like I don't hear it, right?
Yeah.
I stay walking. Say blood? I know you hear me, bro. Got on all that blue, man. You a Crip blood? I don't say, nah, keep walking. I just like, please, don't nobody steal on me from the back. Man, let me be safe.
Yeah.
They let me live. When I got in school, I took that damn lumberjack off. I turned that thing inside out. and I wore it the rest of the day. And I told my dad, don't ever make me wear that again.
Yeah.
And behind that, true story, I had to get cool. We had 8-ball in my neighborhood.
Hey, but yeah.
That's how long this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to hang with them for about 2 weeks because they thought I was a Crip.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm 7th grade. I'm 6'2". They don't know I hoop.
Yeah.
You know, and quick story about me, man. I wore glasses until the 9th grade. I was nerdy till about 8th grade. I'm green nerdy, so
Yeah.
they think I'm a square, which I was. But I'm like, nah, I'm a real square. I ain't down.
Yeah.
So I had to kick it with the guys from the neighborhood, which got me some protection, which honestly, that's what you had to do if they ain't know you.
Yeah.
And that's really what got me credibility until they knew I was a hooper. So shout out to Henderson Junior High. Hey, what got my mind right.
Yeah. Hey, but
To the world.
now you just said something interesting. You hung with those guys for security, but I will say this. It seems like you never lost yourself. You knew how to play the game. And a lot of times in today's society, you'll find kids who lose themselves trying to be something that they're not. And we are from the era where you can hang, hanging around gang members and other hood people.
Right.
That was natural. But if you wasn't with it, or if you was man enough, and we had that, we had them balls about ourselves to where we knew how to. It would just come with it. But
Sure.
we see a lot of young men who fall victim to just social media, to the music, and just losing who they are to,
Absolutely.
of thing, and it's crazy. So yeah, I feel you on that, man. But that's a funny story, man.
Hey,
True
Coach,
story.
I got a question for you. So when you was in school and stuff like that, did some of the people like the Bloods and all that, the people? Well, I just said the people you was hanging with, did they give you extra protection? Like, nah, he the hooper, he straight.
Man, that's a great question.
Yeah,
So I was a late bloomer. So by my 8th grade, by the 8th grade year, I was solid. By my 9th grade, I was really good.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this: 8th grade, no lie, we used to do the Bloods versus the Hoopers. I played on the team, but I played with the Bloods.
yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I was more
Okay.
accepted by the Bloods than the Hoopers because I wasn't that good. So back then, you ain't that good, man. They try to shit on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So cool. Let me go here with my guys. We beat them because back then, there's a lot of thugs walking around.
Yeah,
They was
yeah.
good as
They can hoop.
anybody. They was
Yeah,
athletes.
that
They
behavior
just-
kept them from
There you go. So I got my respect. We beat them, and I got my respect. So the crazy thing about that is, they looked out for me after that, but I was a good kid. Nobody really tried me once they knew I wasn't a Crip. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really tried me. But I will say this: when I got to high school, anytime was trouble around, hey Jay Hayes, gonna get out of here, bro. Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, go on ride, bro. It's finna get crazy.
Already.
And I would say this, guys from my neighborhood, and then I had a few friends in the South End, and I got cool with all of their homies because I was over there all the time. And they would always show, look, hey, man, y'all need to get the hell out of here, man. Hey, watch out, man. Hey, man, watch Buddy right there, man. He wild, something like that. And so they would give me a warning. But honestly, if anything ever went down, they'd be right there. You know what I'm saying?
Already.
So that showed me they protect the ones that they think can make it or, got some good about them. You know
Facts.
what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up. That's why I just like to highlight the good within the bad.
within the bag.
Yes, because they protect us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
not to just hang it on the blood thing, but I want to add something to what he's saying because I feel like it's important that we get this out there. So when the youth watch this, they'll realize what we be trying to tell them.
Sure.
How important much of an influence was your mother in your life when you did go to these public schools where you was no longer around her protection and no longer around the good things? How much of an influence of the things that she taught you and told you played when you were put in these predicaments now when you out in the world and she, and you out here by yourself and all you got to guide you is what she told you and you're not under her eyes anymore? How much of influence was there?
I'm going to go all the way real. My mom really wasn't much of an influence to me.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my mom really don't have a good relationship. My
Mm.
mom suffers from mental health issues.
Mm.
And you know how we do it in the black families. We sweep it under the rug instead of
Facts.
facing it. So a lot of people really don't know this, but me and my mom never had a good relationship.
Okay.
I got my game from my father.
Okay, well, how much was your father was
saying?
influenced in? Okay.
And I got to say that because a lot of people don't know it, but we keeping it real. Not having a dad is tough, but not having a mom's nurturing is maybe even tougher on young men.
That's your South Side.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Yes.
never got that. And so I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, that right there, that made things tough.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But my dad, man, was my rock. That was my guy. But he told me this, and I tell my sons this: you got to be willing to sacrifice, because if you sacrifice in life, you'll get what you want later.
Facts.
You got to be able to sacrifice.
You just saying in general?
In general.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
whether it's sacrificing time with your friends, sacrificing having fun, whatever the sacrifice is, he was like, you got to be willing to sacrifice.
Facts.
Because, you know, it's bigger than just you. That's still with me to this day. And, you know, I've made so many sacrifices with my career, with my sons. And that right there was enough. But my dad, if I didn't have my father, y'all, I wouldn't be right here.
You would have went full-fledged blood.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
They asked me to get in. True story. When all this went down, my parents separated. My dad moved back in with his mom, and I went left. And I'm thankful, but I also know that this situation changed me, and I never was the same. And it made me a little bit more strict and a little bit more straight.
Facts.
Because I was doing stuff I ain't had no business doing with the guys.
Yeah.
They asked to jump me in. I told them no. And I'm glad I didn't. But I was down with them. But the main thing I was doing, I was just hanging out, doing little dumb stuff, petty stuff. But when my dad got back in the house, I straightened back up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But my father being there, which so many guys like me, had their mama, didn't have their daddy. So for me, it's opposite.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. I just try to be the father to my boys that my dad was to me.
That's a great point.
I heard that.
So let's move forward. You won a championship at Parkview in your junior year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Senior year, walk me through the success, or did y'all fall short? Let's talk about offers. Let's talk about colleges. Like, walk me through the senior year at Parkview.
Okay.
Matter of fact, tell me a little bit about your relationship with your coach. You played for Coach Flanagan, correct?
Played for Flanagan.
Let's talk Flanagan. Let's talk about him a little bit. Like, give me your senior year, all in all. Let's walk.
Coach and I had a love-hate relationship, you know, just honestly. I wanted to play on the wing. He needed me in the post, and it was a fight for 3 years. However, I'm going to give him credit for putting dog in me and making me tough, because I didn't have that before I got there. I had it, but not like that, and he made me tougher. And so that state tournament, let me just tell you real quick, after winning that, my summer was crazy. I went from being virtually unknown to ranked in the top 150. And after the Adidas camp, I left there, and I had 94 letters when I got home.
That's when Run DMC was pushing Adidas, wasn't it?
This is when Adidas was better than Nike back in the day.
Okay.
Adidas camp was better. ABCD
Yeah.
was better than the Nike camp. No lie. Back in 97, 98.
Okay.
But so my senior year, I walk in there, I got 25 Division I scholarship offers. After the Adidas camp,
Yeah.
then I went straight from there to the Great American Shootout. They call it the Gasso now.
Yeah.
Made all tournament team, all that. Yeah, man, and I was an AU All-American. I had 25 D1 offers. It's 20 plus.
Give me
And,
the top three, in your opinion. Who was the top three?
With the top three schools?
Yeah.
Texas. I took a visit to Texas, Longhorns in Austin.
Okay.
Colorado. I love Colorado. I didn't take
Okay.
a visit. I
Dude want to be Dion so
buff.
bad.
boy.
Go Bucks.
And they had Ricardo Patton, who was an African-American coach.
Okay,
He
okay.
was Coach Chauncey Billups and just left there.
Show right.
So
Yeah.
it's rich history.
That's a fact.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
And they had a lot of African-American players back in the day
Oh,
in
really?
the Colorado area.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say this. The third one is tough. It was between Minnesota and St. Louis. Minnesota was my dream school. They recruited the hell out of me, and I'm talking about they rolled out the red carpet. But they signed two guys my position. So
Did you ever tell them that?
did I ever tell Minnesota
Did they ever
that?
get to know why? Did they ever know why you didn't sign with them?
Yeah, because they said they didn't have a scholarship anymore. They signed two small forwards.
Oh, I thought we had that exclusive, man. We were gonna tell Minnesota, hey, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you know.
You know, but I said in St. Louis, I like St. Louis U because it was close. They had Big Jeff. What was Jeff last name? He went to Parkview. He had a real good career. And then they was hiring people at Anheuser-Busch. So I'm like, I know I'm going to give me a good job.
Okay.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Drink good at least. Nah, but for
Boy said that was the NIL deal back then, huh? Yeah.
So they were my top 3 schools, but I would say my senior year was a bad year. Why? Because as a team, we were 15 and 16. Now we're 15 and 15, 500 after winning the state title. My point guard tore his ACL in football. My shooting guard. Point guard wound up quitting.
Yeah.
For a 5th game, and my small forward tore his collarbone in football.
Okay.
Broke his collarbone. So it's me a senior, and the rest juniors and sophomores, and they wasn't ready.
Gotcha.
I went from getting double team to triple team.
Yeah.
I went from averaging 24 to 25 to averaging right at 20. But some games it didn't look good because
Yeah.
I got triple team. They keyed in on me, had to do everything, and I didn't have much help.
Yeah.
The guys just wasn't ready. We lost so much, and my senior year, thank God, this is what's crazy. A lot of people said it. Thank God I signed early, but that don't even. But honestly, that's people that didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
High school does not really matter. It's your summer ball where your scholarships really come from. And let me explain that.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Let me break it down.
Is you talking about then and now? Or, well,
Even now.
Even what I'm saying, we know it's now, but was it like that then?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Let me tell you why. Gino Ariama ain't coming to Little Rock Christian to watch Christian Williams play until he see her on the summer circuit. Think about it. So think about this. What college coaches are coming to Little Rock just to see you without never seeing you before?
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Think about it. Because if that's the case, they're going to be in the state that they in recruiting first, right?
Yeah.
No. Coaches find you on the summer circuit. They see you. They come see you at high school just to see how you interact and all of that.
With your full-time coach and your teammate, yeah.
Yes, but scholarships don't come from high school basketball unless it's an in-state school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, they want to see how you doing on your high school team once they like you and they recruiting you.
Yeah.
Your mannerisms, your characteristics, how good of a teammate you are, you play hard, all that.
Okay.
But no school is coming just to look at a kid if they ain't seen him or heard about him at a huge, considerable amount.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So, I'm glad you said that. But do you believe that high school ball was more influential on on a college coach's decision then than it is now? Because I'm starting to see the reverse now.
Okay.
A kid, it's almost a kid don't have to play high school. And so I know I'm finna get some pushback in the comment, but we're kind of seeing it.
Yeah.
Kids almost don't even have to play high school ball they senior year, and once they lock in their scholarships in the summer circuit now. Because I think the summer circuit is just so much more wide open now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we didn't have circuits when I played.
Yeah.
We had AAU Nationals and a national tournament, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we might go to Memphis. We go to Dallas for the Gasso. We go to Memphis. They used to have a couple things. Man, we only played in maybe 4 to 5 tournaments in the summer.
Yeah.
Out of state.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
then it was like that.
Dang.
Yeah, it wasn't all this traveling. It wasn't no circuit. It was different. I will say this. AAU was good, but the ABCD camp is what blew me up.
Okay.
Because it still wasn't scouts like that at the AAU tournaments. It was solid, but you got to go to one of them exclusive camps. This is when I learned the game because I ain't know no better. That's the first camp I ever attended in my life.
Okay.
I got a question. So, as a player, do you think AAU coaches are more influential or high school coaches?
Man, that's a great question.
I think that depends too, though.
It does, and I'm going to say this. Since I'm both, from a high school coach's perspective.
And I say like a coach who never coached high school. Like, I mean, so like an AAU coach who never coached high school.
Right. So, that's a great question. 75% of these AAU coaches give my players bad habits that take me a half a year to break.
Okay.
75% of them now. I seen some AAU coaches better than a lot of these high school coaches.
But I ain't gonna lie.
Not that many.
Yeah, because it depends on the school. A lot of these schools don't attract good coaches or good players, so they end up with the science teacher.
There you go. And assistant coaches out here. All right, let me say this for my African American males. It's so many Caucasian coaches out there that never played the sport, don't know the sport, but they got their certification and they just coaching.
Man, they used to burn me when I was in school.
Yeah.
Man, this man don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing, don't care about nothing,
And can't do what he telling me to do.
and can't do it. And then got the audacity to mess players over. So my point is, now let me speak about some high school coaches. There's some AAU coaches out there that out-coach a lot of these high school coaches.
Yeah.
You know, and so you're right. I think it's depending on where you at, and also I think it's the caliber of AAU coach. So when you get on the middle school to high school level, of course the AAU coaches start to level up or rise up with their abilities.
Yeah.
You know, because anybody can coach on the youth level.
Yeah.
Now, what you do, you see some AAU coaches that they are great in one area, but then when they get out their element, not so much. Like some AAU coaches are good with elementary or grassroots.
Yeah, because all you got to do is press or whatever, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then when you gotta play some defense, you gotta
Half
call
court
some
sets
plays,
and stuff like that, yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I keep a coach with me.
facts. You feel me? Facts.
Yeah.
Now, some, you know, you'll find some coaches out there that they get that, they know that, and they can coach grassroots, middle school, or high school.
Yeah.
And then you got some that can only coach high schools. They can't drop down because they don't got the patience.
Don't have the patience, yeah.
Which I get it. But I guess the point I'm trying to make, high school coaches talk bad about AAU coaches too much, and AAU coaches talk bad about high school coaches too much. And honestly, we all at fault if it ain't about the kid first.
Yeah.
I heard
You know
that.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I do both. I think I'm one of the better coaches around at both. AAU, I get a lot of clout because I've had two of the better teams, whether it was my Next Page Force team the last couple of years, high school.
Shout out to Next Page.
Shout out to Next Page, man. Shout out to our founder and director, man. And then I got we was grassroots, now my 13U team, which, you know, we've been the best team around ever since we put them together.
Yeah.
But my point to you is, I also got guys who coach on the high school level, and I got guys who just done it on the AAU level.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, really, you need two good coaches. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything, even though I've been doing it for years. And also, I might get emotional. So you need a calmer. And my point is, we got to stop bashing each other. Because at the end of the day, yes, high school coaches are less important with kids going to college than ever. Man, I got coaches that recruit my kids that don't even call me. And they used to call the high school coach when they call me.
Yeah.
Man,
Nah, that's a
crazy,
fact.
yeah.
That's
man
a
they ain't
fact.
calling us, but you know why? How many high school coaches back in the day wasn't giving folks their letters?
They letters,
Let's
yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
I know a few.
Well,
I want to say some names.
No,
I ain't gonna do that right
I
now.
can't kill my ratings.
I can't do
But
that
it
right
might
now.
help the rating. Me and Dogs might be popular
yeah,
tomorrow.
that's a real issue that need to get addressed.
Let me say some of y'all favorite coaches out there.
No pun intended. I'm still your favorite coach. You ain't talking about me.
No, but not Coach E. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you this. I ain't never held a letter from a kid. In fact, I help kids make highlight films, and I send them out to coaches. Whatever school they want me to send them, I send them to, as well as coaches that I know.
Yeah.
I'm working for the kids. Because if a kid get a scholarship, it make the school look better. It
Right.
make me look better.
Right.
So we all winning.
Yeah.
These coaches' egos, if a school don't go through them, or they might not even want a kid to do better than them.
Nah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this. I also say it depends too, because a lot of times you have a lot of coaches who are kind of just reserved. I'm here to do my job,
Yeah.
and then no relationship.
At
so
all.
when you got a lot of AAU teams who've been together since day one, I feel like that's when the coach has a little more influence, the AAU coach,
Facts.
because now you starting to see. When I was a kid, you seen AAU kids from all over the state. My brother stayed in Fordyce and he played for the Wings up here in Little Rock. So
Shout out
now
B.
Yeah.
you starting to see a lot of high school coaches inherit full AAU teams. So you know that's and it's tough too, because when you see the AAU coach come to the court, come to the game, you find them kids looking at the stands at him. So you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie,
Thanks.
but I say it do come down to the school. But I do want to say one more point, and I'll let you have the floor back.
Oh, yes,
A lot of things I'm starting to see too is a lot of schools. So in Arkansas, you only have a few schools who have systems.
Yeah.
You have Mills, who has a middle school.
Yeah.
You have Seven Hills. You only have Jacksonville. So when they have a system, some schools, they disregard the middle school part. They'll just have any kind, and that's a huge part of the development.
Yeah.
And a lot of these kids don't. A lot of the studs make it because they studs.
They already good.
But the surrounding players aren't getting their 7th and 8th grade development properly because they only take the high school, the varsity, serious. So I see that a lot, man. My daughter, she in the 9th grade now, but her 7th and 8th grade year, she was running through a lot of teams who was walking in with coaches who I know just help kids get on the bus. that's like they just dirt. That's the whole purpose of them. So I'm saying too, a lot of schools are missing the middle school development, and it's these kids are having disinterest in it, and only the studs, and that's why their high school teams are being affected because so many kids being left behind. So instead of 4 or 5 kids transitioning into high school, only 1 and 2. And I mean, you look at some of these high schools, bro. A lot of them be freshmen. They pulling from the 9th grade now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's rare. Back when I remember, and I wasn't just no basketball, but I remember schools had like 3-4 seniors on the squad. Now you see two and juniors, and 1 freshman, 2 sophomores. You get what I'm saying? So the development, and then a lot of kids just love AAU.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Some kids just fall in love with AAU. Coach is already on me. So
Playing 4 games in a day.
yeah.
Can't beat that.
You can't. I want to, man, you said something. Shout out to the Arkansas Rockets, Sylvester Allen, Coach Seal, first AAU team I ever played with. The Rockets, I left them and went to the Wings. I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't ready. When I went to the Wings, I got better. The rest is history. But the Rockets, 75% of the Rockets went to Central.
Yeah.
That's why Central was so dominant when I was in high school. They went to the state title, lost to West Memphis my 10th grade year. They got put out by Russellville when we won it. Then they beat North Little Rock our senior year. They should have won it all 3 years, at least 2 years. But my point is, they started the AU organization going to the same high school.
Okay.
Right? Now, I'm going to say this. What that's done is made it easy for a lot of high school coaches. And
Facts.
honestly, I've taken on that mantra in a few situations, and honestly, I plan on doing that with Ban. And when Ban and them all get to high school, man, I'm planning on having my AAU team with me.
Hey, that's the game,
You know
though.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've been together since they were 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And when you get a team like that, I don't got to know what I'm doing as a coach, right? Yeah. I don't got to say nothing. They know each other. I can sit back in my chair like a lot of these coaches do. I wish I had the luxury to be able to sit down and let my players play a lot, but I don't have that luxury. That's okay. But the point you're making is, yes, and you find them kids looking in the stands because they trust the AU coach more. They got a relationship with the AU coach more. They spend more time with them. And let's be honest, there's not a lot of African-American coaches out there.
Yeah.
And not young ones that can relate to these guys.
Facts.
So now what you got is this old head stuck in his ways, playing this 1989, 1999 basketball that doesn't translate.
Yeah.
And they don't even know the new age game.
Yeah.
And these players are different. I've even had to adjust my coaching to these players. I get on players, you know what? But man, I can't do it all the time. These kids can't take that.
Yeah.
Some of them shut down immediately, so I had to learn how to coach them differently. But yes, man, AAU, and then I will say this: a lot of kids like to play AAU only because, let's be honest, you can kind of, man, it's looser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's less structure, less discipline. I only got you for 3 months. I'm just gonna let you go hoop. As opposed to playing with me, and we got structure, we got discipline, we got things in place. So it's a catch-22.
But I think it's a flip side to that too, Coach. I feel like too, a lot of people like playing AAU now because the games are more meaningful now.
You playing for traveling?
Yeah, like when we was younger, and you older than me, but we still from that era. You had inner city rivalries.
Yes.
More teams were better. Now, like I said, a lot of people don't want to play basketball no more, man. I'm study watching other AAU sports, just go up, skyrocket because basketball is on a decline. And I feel like now a lot of kids don't really like regular season basketball. Like everybody don't want to just go play at this school and beat up on them. Like we going through the motion. But we had more fun playing AAU basketball. The atmosphere was more hype. The gyms look better. And, a lot of people just don't want to play into the state tournament. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just feel like they going through And then too, like you said, it's more friend oriented on AAU. I like passing the ball to Josh. I like passing the ball to Dow.
Yeah.
I don't want to pass the ball to Lil Sean and them over here like they're not good.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to realize now a lot of school ball is sign up now. Bro, I'm watching a lot of teams now be having like 20 people, and it's middle school and ninth grade. But like, man, it's like now the school's losing power on cutting kids.
Hey, man, you saying something there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Not me, but